According to a Chinese legend, it was not knowledge, nor sight, nor speech that could find the lost pearl of great price for the emperor, for they but served to hide it. Once he was able to cease efforting and give up his search, he recovered the awareness of the pearl. The secret of his success was active non-striving. It had never been lost, but it was only his veil of learned ignorance that had concealed it. Similarly, this pearl is well hidden within each of us. Just as there are cosmic radiations which pass silently and unimpeded through lead, so does the unity of all being go unawared in the world of reason. Beyond union there is unity. Beyond the one is the naught of Sunyata. Awareness is all. As it is said, lift a stone, and thou shalt find me. Cleave the wood, and there I am. Be still, and experience that thou art God. To the myopic sight of Western consciousness, one tiny part of the spectrum is visible and reigns supreme. As some individuals have told us about their giddy excursions into the unconscious above and below, we have extended the spectrum, but only slightly. As a culture, we may be dimly aware of the sub- and superconscious strata of our psychic being, but for most individuals, the extensions are still rather small and have never been directly experienced. Instruments have made us aware of the infrared and ultraviolet rays invisible to the naked eye. But who will reveal to us the full vastness of the spectrum of consciousness? We will receive a wider, more inclusive light only if we open ourselves to the vaster views of a vaster silence. Through self-identification, we can know vibrationally of a realm where all that is, or has ever been, or ever will be, is one and whole. There are electromagnetic radiations and queer cosmic X-rays and Y-rays, which aren't even noticed as they pass through the complex brain of a blinkered scientist. While egos do find it humbling to probe the subconscious realms of our psyche, they are often humiliated when they begin exploring the supermental realms. The cosmic rays of ego-free awareness may have queer effects on intellectuals. And only when they go happily out of their smart minds will they be able to give up their blinkers. The light of intuition reveals psychosynthesis. Such a unitive mode of experiencing is the preventative and cure for both ego antics and psychoses. William Shakespeare knew livingly that reason was the helper, reason is the bar, when he said, "Reason in itself confounded, saw division grow together, hearts remote, yet not asunder, distance, and no space was seen. Love hath reason, reason none." Reason is the bar, but so is anything that we cling to unduly, as Blake points to in his poem. He who binds to himself a joy does the winged life destroy. But he who kisses the joy as it flies lives in eternity's sunrise. Ego memory is not truth, but persistence, a perpetuation of a transitory moment through the lie that any moment can be made permanent. Shelley wrote of that. The one remains, the many change and pass. Heaven's light forever shines, earth's shadows fly. Ego life, like a dome of many colored glass, stains the white radiance of eternity, until death tramples it to fragments, die. If thou wouldest be with that which thou dost seek, follow where all is fled. It is the many-colored glass of prejudices and emotionality that keeps us trapped in ego memories. But as if Shakespeare said in Hamlet, the play's the thing, the real is the no-thingness, within and beyond the changing forms and functions of the life Leela. It is through awareing that the intuitive mode of consciousness gleams of unitive true memory that Wordsworth wrote about. Our birth is but a sleep and a forgetting. The soul that rises with us, our life's star, hath had elsewhere its setting, and cometh from afar, not in entire forgetfulness, and not in utter nakedness, but trailing clouds of glory do we come, from God, who is our home. Heaven lies about us in our infancy. The shades of the prison house begin to close upon the growing boy, but he beholds the light and whence it flows. He sees it in his joy. At length the man perceives it die away and fade into the light of common day. The heaven that lies about us in our infancy is ever about us and within us. It is only a usurping ego consciousness that has dulled our awareness of this realm. Blinkers and shutters of false self-identification make dim to the ego the light that ever is pristine and present. Shades of the house begin to close, and the trailing clouds of glory fade into the light of common day. This means we identify ourselves with the ever-changing shadows of the actual and the factual world, and with our physical bodies that will one day die. God is externalized, and the psyche goes in search of her lost wholeness. When the ego struts, I, the only power that can dissolve the ego delusions and give rebirth into awareness is a mystic death. Our birth into ego life, or what ye call life, is but a sleep and a forgetting. a death of self-awareness. Some shadow fragments in the dream of human life now shade the pure consciousness into hues of joys and woes, of intensity and weariness, of likes and dislikes. As it states in Intimations of Immortality, our noisy gears seem moments in the being of the eternal silence. Hence, in a season of calm weather, though inland far we be, our souls have sight of that immortal sea which brought us hither. We are that immortal sea. The soul does have true memory, and our intuition will dissolve the shadows of mind and the sediments of desires. Truth is within ourselves. Whatever an ego may believe, the truth can never have its source in outward things. Useless is the effort to make an entry for a light supposed to be without. There is an innermost center in us all, where truth abides in fullness. And to know consists in opening an exit so that this imprisoned splendor can escape.